I was sent this whole house water filter by iSpring to do a review on. This thing is pretty cool, and it's very large. Let's get this thing unboxed, go over the details, get it installed, and then take it for a test spin. We'll see you here in a little bit. Alright, so I'm down here deep into the dungeon, and this is where my current water filter is. Now this is just a sediment filter. So all I'm going to do is line this up in this area. So I just kind of want it kind of like that. But I'm going to put a board in behind it first and then bolt this to that board just to give it a little bit more stability. And then I'm going to cut off of here, make all the fittings, and save room for something else that I may want to put in here. There's a lot of different ways to set this up. This is already set up the way it is, so I'm just going to jump in line and use what I've got here. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to get that board cut in and screwed into this wall, and then we'll mount this, and then we'll start all the plumbing. Alright, I got this board up here anchored in pretty good. I used some tap cons and pre-drilled the concrete and just kind of countersunk the screw a little bit. Alright, so now we're going to get that bracket mounted up here. I've got some lag bolts I'm just going to put in it. Got a hole that I've already pre-drilled, so it's ready to go. Alright, we got this up here nice and tight. This thing is not going anywhere. Alright, number one, I'm not a plumber. So, depends on your codes and whatever you're dealing with in your area is what you do. It's up to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut right into here. I'm going to keep this the exact same way it is. I'm not even going to change it. So all I'm going to do is cut this piece right here, and I'm going to extend it back on the other side, and I'll show you that here in a second. This part has to go to the new filter. So we're going to go from here straight over to the new filter. It's Murphy's Law. Every time you try to do a project, you always need something. So you have to run out and, well, go get some more parts. That's what I had to do. I had to get some reducers here to bring it down to 3/4. But other than that, it went pretty smooth. Alright, so we're going to start with the sediment filter first. There we go. Nice and pretty. Now, we need to put it down in this piece here. And then it just slides right up in there. You kind of feel it go in place. And then slowly tighten that up. Now we'll put the wrench on it here in a second. Gently. There's nothing worse than trying to get these off because they're too tight. I could almost hand tighten that enough, I think. But we're going to put the wrench on it just to make it nice and snug. So I'm just going to gently put a little bit of pressure on it. I think that'll be good. We'll find out here in a minute. If it leaks, well, we got to tighten it up a little bit more. The GAC plus KDF filter. So we're going to get that unwrapped. This one's a little different and a lot heavier. Now this one's got a little foam piece on the top of that, so we got to look at that. Make sure that's not a seal. So this is the seal that was in the package, and that needs to go back on that. This one goes in through here and out the bottom. This is all solid. It's almost like a piece of PVC or something. So let's get that one on in there. This one's pretty heavy. And we're going to make sure it slides in there nice and easy. Make sure that little piece, there's a piece under there that has to go right in the center. There we go. Went up there nice and smooth. The GTO carbon filter. Get the plastic off of it. Eventually. Someday. Woo. All right, there we go. We're gonna put it into the tube. There we go. All right, so we got the last one. We're almost ready to put some water in it. And these are not light. These are pretty heavy. There we go. Perfect. All right, overall, this system was really easy to install. Now, I'm a DIY kind of person, so it's not super hard for me, but somebody that, well, if you don't have those mechanical skills to be able to do this, then I would definitely have a professional come out and do it for you. I did change a few things. I had a leak over here on this last cylinder, so when I brought the system back down, I decided to go ahead and change a few things over here. I didn't have this tight enough and water poured out, and that's what you just saw. I just wanted to show that to you, that's what happened if you don't tighten it up enough. And you just need to tighten it up. So I went ahead and fixed this here, and I also put a drain down here, a valve to be able to let off the back pressure. So when I shut this valve, which shuts off the house and anything coming down to create pressure, and then I shut off the valve that's off screen here, it shuts this down, but it still has pressure on it. Now this little device here does have a button that I can press and release it, but I wanted to put this in just to drain this down to be able to let the pressure off these tanks before I start to take it off. All right, so overall, this was really simple. You know, the biggest thing is we don't need leaks. If you're not comfortable with doing it, definitely consult a professional, let a professional do it for you.